to change gears a little bit. Get your laughing pants on. So our next performer, he's tall, he's British, and he flogs both mercilessly for jokes. You can catch his wry humor and unique spin on US life and culture at venues all over the DFW Metroplex. Please put your hands together for David Parsons.
Well, hello Pocket Sandwich Theatre, how are you? Okay, so the first thing that people generally notice about me is that I'm tall. Okay, yes, I'm fat also. But I would prefer to focus on the metric that doesn't cause diabetes, heart disease, crushed lawn chairs, general social disapproval, scared looks when I head to the buffet line, desperation when I move towards the middle seat on an airplane, or questions from small children about whether I have a baby in my tummy. But don't get me wrong, obesity is no laughing matter. I went to see a dietitian just the other day, and she said she was very concerned about my body mass index. She showed me on a chart, and I left feeling totally dejected, because I've no idea how I'm going to gain 3 feet in height. But being tall is simply awesome. I just love being the tallest guy in the room. Now, this doesn't happen to me very often, but if there's a chance there's someone there who's taller than me, the wheels come off a little. If I'm with someone, I discreetly sidle up to the other guy, so my companion can tell me who's tallest. If it's me, I sashay around with a smug grin on my face, the king of all I survey. If it's the other guy, I slink off feeling dejected. And I look for a short person to loom over. This always puts the smile right back on my face. Okay, so are any of you familiar with the modern craze of recreating childhood photographs? Yeah?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thought that looked awfully cool, so I decided to have a go myself. It turns out I no longer look precious in a little sailor suit. I can't really fit in the kitchen sink for a bath anymore. If I get on my father's shoulders, I'm liable to put him in the hospital. And it is absolutely no longer cute if I take a shit in a bucket on the beach. I think that meme's not for me. Anyway, you probably by now picked up on the merest trace of an accent.
No.
Right. I'm not from around here. I was born in England and moved here 20 years ago. Now, while both of my countries speak English, kind of, words in America sometimes have different meanings, and this can cause serious confusion. In America, fanny is slang for buttocks. In England, a fanny is a vagina. You can imagine my confusion when an American friend said, "Gee, I went on a long bike ride yesterday and my fanny's still sore." How the hell were you sitting on the saddle there? Staying on the subject of genitals, to the English, beavers aren't remotely sexual. In fact, the youngest Girl Scouts are called Beaver Scouts and are led by a grey beaver. "Please, sir, would you like to buy some beaver cookies?" No, I really wouldn't. In England, rubbers are used to erase pencil marks. Not here, which explains the look of disgust I got when, before a test, I told an American classmate that I didn't have a rubber and asked if she had a spare I could borrow. "What?" I said. "I'm just trying to avoid making a mistake I'll pay for later." Man, that slap around the face still stings. In England, my favourite dessert has a very strange name. To the English, a spotted dick is a delicious raisin cake served warm with custard. To the Americans, a spotted dick is an excellent reason to see your physician immediately. And this one's the worst. The American use of the word spunk makes me positively queasy. In America, spunk is courage, determination. In England, spunk is slang for semen. I have a friend who always describes her 14-year-old daughter as full of spunk. Oh God, I hope not. Okay, so I have a daughter too. She's 9 years old and she's the light of my life. And although being a parent is awesome, there are some less good bits. And to my mind, the worst thing about being a parent is having to listen to really shitty music and pretend to enjoy it.
Yes.
There are plenty of offenders out there in the preteen music space, but by far the worst, in my view, are the Kids Bop Kids. The worst crime against music since Hanson umbopped their way to the top of the charts. Now, if you don't have a prepubescent girl in the house, you've probably never heard of the Little Assholes. But they're a collection of ridiculously chipper tweens who sing popular songs with all the adult words and lyrics edited out. I'll give you an example. In the song TikTok, Kesha sings, "Before I leave, brush my teeth with a bottle of Jack, 'cause when I leave for the night, I ain't coming back." The Kids Bop Kids sing, "Before I leave, brush my teeth, make sure I reach the back. I've got a sleepover tonight and I've got to pack." You are fooling no one, you little fuckers. Now, although there are many songs that they do that are grossly inappropriate for their target audience, there are some places they won't go. There's no My Neck, My Back by Kaya. There's no Down with the Sickness. There's no Big Papa. There's nothing at all by Lil' Kim. But guys, I just don't think you're trying hard enough. If you're gonna go halfway, why not commit? Well, I thought I could do better, so I had to go myself. Do you all remember that 90s classic by the Nine Inch Nails, Closer? Oh, no. You know the one that starts, "You let me violate you, you let me desecrate you," and has the chorus that begins, "I want to fuck you like an animal"? Well, I Kids Bopped it. And with your indulgence, and with due apologies to Trent Reznor, I'd like to give you a little sample. Okay? Yeah. You let me snuggle with you. You let me have tea with you. You let me party dress you. You let me confide in you. Help me, I broke my Barbie dream house. Help me, I've got no cookies to sell. Help me, the only thing that works for me. Help me get away from myself. I wanna hug you like a stuffed animal. I wanna cuddle you at bedtime. I wanna hug you like a stuffed animal. My whole existence is fun. You get me closer to mom. Catchy? Maybe I'll send it to the Kids Boppers. Or maybe I'll end it all if I have to listen to tweens sing Uptown Funk again. Okay, I'm gonna end on this. Politics in 2020 is terribly depressing. I just, you've got a president that half the country hates. You've got the Democrats can't decide who they want out of two old gentlemen it's become the old codger primary on the other side. And I just think we deserve better. I think America needs the first female president of the United States. Who's with me? I got the perfect candidate for you. Meghan Markle is a free agent. Put her in the White House and you got a duchess as president, and the first gentleman would be a prince. Talk about classing up the joint. We could even go the whole way and rip up the Declaration of Independence and ask Her Majesty the Queen if she'd be willing to take us back. Think about it. Both countries get something out of this deal. England gets an economic upgrade over the European Union, and America gets a universally respected head of state, proper hot tea instead of the iced crap you serve over here, a national healthcare service, and most importantly, decent fish and chips. So I'm going to start a campaign. Party like it's 1775. Bring back the letter U. Bowler hats, not MAGA hats. What do we want? Recolonization. When do we want it? Now! And the perfect slogan for the bumper sticker. Elizabeth 2020. Make America Great Britain again. Well, thank you. You have been a lovely audience, and I've been David Parsons. Cheers.